Morning, buenos dias. So we're continuing to talk about the Tracy Richardson story and about the defects and they were having problems with the dashboard. So it was a Friday when she was talking, they had some problems with the weather. So during this particular Friday production evening, we were short 2 team members in our group, and one of them was on my line. So of course I was working on the line. Along with those responsibilities, I had certain team leader jobs to keep up with throughout the night. As team leader, your ability to multitask was a prerequisite for the position. At any given time, you could have 10 things that need your attention, especially when andons are involved. When I was online, normally we have one team leader in a group offline who was covering her team and mine, and our group leader was also always close by to jump in as well. We all also had Motorola radios in order to communicate very quickly with one another when issues arose. We also were in constant contact with the assembly groups we fed parts to, which enabled us to respond quickly when they needed our assistance. Because we were building directly into the line with very little inventory, any problems could very quickly shut down the manufacturing assembly line. As the evening was about to start, it was duly noted within our shift-to-shift log that the first shift had some problems with dashboard wrinkles most of the day. So we had an inkling that we would fall under that same fate, as it was very humid that night. We started production at 5:15 p.m., dead even with the assembly line, since first shift had to run 1 hour overtime to compensate for the scrap they had with the IPs during the day, or dashboards. We started out running fairly well, not seeing any wrinkles scrap for the first hour of production. It was about 45 minutes till our first break at 7:15 p.m., and I noticed we had 3 wrinkle defects on line. These defects occurred when the polyurethane foam is injected into the dashboard mold, and it expands under pressure as the dashboard makes its way around the carousel. At times when the dashboard mold closed, it could have a tendency to pinch the skin under humid conditions and create wrinkles. These normally occurred at the end of the IP. Many small ones were repairable within the takt time, but some of the larger ones were not and had to be reworked at the end of shift. To minimize costs as much as possible, we would use some of the scrap parts that were not repairable to practice new repair techniques to improve the skills of our team members. Okay, so obviously they have problems too, production issues, and they're trying to figure it out, but if you listen, what's neat is that they take some of their scrap to practice on to figure out how they can do it. So it'd be like taking apart from Filtran and figuring out how can we trim it best, or what's the best way, or ITWFS, like we had all the rejects with trimming that thin edge, so maybe we need to use that to figure out a support way to hold that up, to trim that if we have to trim it again. Okay, thank you.